Okay, so it'll be in recording, and we're definitely in recording. If you're going to have a lot of background noise, please go ahead and mute yourself so that it doesn't interfere with everybody. So, well, let's get started. Today, I'm introducing a program called Productive Agent, and this will be starting in January. And I'll give you a little background on it. This is something that I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. So I muted everybody, and then so this program is kind of a mashup uh, between multiple programs that I've been involved with over the years. So things like Keller Williams had a program called Bold. I was in a program with Mike Ferry years ago called the Prospecting Program, and that had accountabilities and partners and things like that, and different, just different programs over the years. One of the things I've learned that is, we're kind of lone rangers, and we kind of like to do our thing, and that's okay. The other thing is, how do you work together, and being competitors too at the same time and encourage each other? I think if you have a kind of a greater good, you'll do more. And the greater good would be just to, to help each other out. And so what I've done is, and I'll walk through this program with you, how this works out. And it's designed to step you in to production. So not just like slam, here you are. And it'll be fun. We'll have teams and you'll have partners, and there'll be a little bit of fun going on. So let's go right into it. So the first thing, it's called Productive Agent, right? It starts. So the first thing is going to start on January 12th. There's going to be a 4-hour CE class, and it's an elective CE class, and that'll be on January 12th, and that'll be, so you'll get 4 hours CE out of that, which is cool. That class is lead generation, and what that'll be is, and so what that particular class is, we actually will go through what I call the main categories of lead generation, and it's more of an overview of those categories. And then each category we're going to walk you through. So, what are the activities required for that particular type of lead generation? What could you expect from that type of lead generation? What skills are required for it? And then what does something like that cost, right? So that's kind of the overview we're going to walk through. So then, and then that way you have a clear understanding. If you're not sure, what particular area of lead generation you really want to go after, then, you start here, and this will walk you through. So then once that's completed, then the following week, we're going to have 4 workshops. There's going to be 2 on January 18th, and there'll be 2 workshops on January 19th. Now, you're not required to take all the workshops. I mean, if you join the CE class, in order to get the credit, you'd have to stay through the whole thing, which I encourage, especially if you're newer or you're just not really sure. Maybe I want to tackle some other areas. Then that you definitely start there. Then once you've attended the 4-hour CE class, then what you want to do is you want to pick the workshop or workshops that you want to attend. Now, these are not CE classes, the workshops. These are roll up your sleeves. You're actually going to work, and you're going to leave there with action items and kind of having a really good feel for what you're going to be doing in that particular activity. So those are 2 hours, and when I'll be teaching most of them. I do have an outside trainer that specializes. He's actually a coach that specializes in Facebook lead generation, has a business, and he's agreed to teach our web lead class in the CE, and he's also agreed to teach our web workshop. So that'll be good. The rest of it's just me entertaining you. So anyway, so those will be the 4 workshops. And then after that, so those are a Thursday. So the 12th is a Friday. The 18th and 19th is a Thursday and Friday. And then after that, we're going to and then on January 29th. So we'll we're going to start on a Monday, and then so what'll happen is, and then the productive agent program will start January 29th. And what that is, and so then, so this whole thing is designed to step you into it, to lead you up. First, you attend the CE class, get an overview, join the workshop, kind of get some real grounded way of doing what a particular lead generation activity. And then on the 29th, we're going to be full tilt boogie, where we're going to be going, head on into your particular activity. And that's the cool part about this program is, if you're interested in calling for sale by owners and expireds, that's great. That's what you need to do. If you're interested in working your sphere, that's fine. That's what you need to do, and so forth. So, and that's the beauty of this program. And it's not a one size fits all. We're all going to be cold calling and things like that. So it's whatever it is you do. And then when you leave the workshops and such, you'll actually have an idea of what a schedule should look like and things like that. So now let's get into the productive agent training, right? So the training of that, we're going to meet periodic, and we haven't really nailed down the full detail on that, but we're definitely looking at least meeting live every other week, maybe. We thought about once a month, then we said, that might not be enough. We can experiment, and this is, and we're wide open to, going through this and saying, hey, this is working better for us. Let's maybe modify this. I'm more than happy to take any feedback to tweak this program along. So we will meet live and then web, and these will be trainings. And so the trainings are going to be, now I have an agenda of some things I want to make sure that we're all going through, like lead follow-up will be kind of a generic training, things like that. And then we'll have specific trainings. So we can talk about those, and then maybe the specific trainings will be more web-based, where if somebody, we can go maybe through SOI scripting and dialoguing, maybe some for sale by owner scripting and dialoguing, things like that, where we can break it down into more specifics, and then maybe do those web. But I think the live training, at least every other week, where we all meet together, and I'd like to see 16 to 20 in this group. That'd be real nice. Because I think I think that's a good sized group where where it's very manageable, but it's big enough to say, hey, this is bigger, this is greater than me, but not so big that you lose any kind of intimacy. So, and then we're gonna break. Part of this is we're gonna join in teams. The teams are typically based on 4 to a team. Okay, and that's but that depends on how many numbers show up. I mean, ideally, and that's where I came up with 16 to 20, right? So we'll be on teams, and the way that'll work, once we have our trainings laid out in our teams, then once you're on a team, and then you're going to be you'll have there'll be like a point system too, and then you can earn points when you're on a team, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before, once you're on a team, and then your idea of the team is you're going to encourage each other and help each other, right? This is not and everything is based on what you want, right? So it doesn't matter. It only matters what you want, and that's what we'll help you with. As a group, we're collectively going to help each other, and we want to help each other based on what you want, not on what we think you should want. So once you're on a team, then the way points are earned and the way the game is kind of played, if you will. So I'm trying to make this fun so that you do your task. So there's 4 tasks you have to do every day. Task number 1 is call your partner voice to voice. And so you have to call your partner, and you'll have a schedule that says you can't make things up as you go. This is a real schedule. So you're going to call your partner up voice to voice, and you'll tell each other what your intentions are for today. So if you're scheduled off that day for whatever reason, if you already had it pre-planned, and I don't mean off, you decided to wake up this morning and you said, well, I'm off today. I'm going to take off due to lack of participation. I just don't feel like working today. That's not considered off. If you had it on your schedule and we knew you were off, then you're off that day. It's just that simple. But still call your partner, because your partner is dependent upon you to get their day going. So you're going to call your partner, and you just talk to each other and say, hey, this is Rob, and today I plan to visit 3 SOI today, and knock on 2 for sale by owner doors and send out 3 handwritten cards. That's what I plan to do. That's my job for today. And so that's it. So anyway, so that would be, and then the partner would tell you what they specifically plan to do. And then, so that's item number 1. So task number 1, call your partner voice to voice, talk to each other. Task number 2 is to do whatever it is you're scheduled to do that day. It's that simple. Just, I mean, really, all it is do what you want, you are supposed to do based on what you want to achieve and your schedule. And then task number 3 is call your partner back, voice to voice, and report to each other so you can hold each other up and hold each other accountable, but more importantly, hold each other up. This is about encouraging and pushing each other to greater successes and things like that. So that's what it's about. Then you have to call your partner back and say, well, I did my task, or I'm short one. You know, if I'm short one person, then your partner's got to root you on and say, hey, you need to get out there and go do it. You know, whatever it is, you're short. And then your last task for the day is you have to call a voicemail and report in and say what you've done. I've done all my jobs. You know, this is Rob Aubrey, and today I completed my 3 tasks of calling, you know, and all you have to say is I've completed my 3 tasks, or if you didn't do it, then say I did task 1 and 3, and most of 2, but I didn't complete it. So you get a point for each task, right? So that's the way it works, and that's the game. This is where the game comes in. So for every task you complete, you get a point. So you can gain 4 points in a day, right? That's the most. However, if you do not complete a task, say let's say you forgot to call the voicemail, okay? So that's a negative point. So in other words, you can't get 3 points if you miss one. If you miss one, you're actually going to get 2, because you're only going to you'll get a point for each of your tasks. So if you completed 3 and miss 1, you only have 2 points. So that I did it that way to to where a point really brings a little bit of pain to the game. But, and you don't want to let your teammates down. This is all about you, what you want. But as long as you play and encourage your partners, then you win, and then your partner wins as well. So that's the game in a nutshell, and things like that. And again, this is a first time launching this. So we're open to feedback for sure. We don't believe that we have a perfect system. However, I do know from years of experience, I know what works. I know agent behavior style. So I kind of get, and the problem we have with real estate is that the behaviors that make you money are so far removed from the reward. Meaning real estate is kind of typically a 90, 120-day pipeline. So things you do today may not show up as a result for 90 days. So there's no real, so today's activities may not have any fruition for 90 days. So because of that, well, it's almost virtually impossible to connect the reward of to the behavior. So like in a Pavlov way, where the bell rings, the dog salivates, because the bell rings, you feed the dog, your bell rings, you feed the dog, bell rings, you feed the dog hears the bell ring and thinks he's going to eat. But the bell that rings is the reward for the bell could be, or you ring the bell today, but you might not eat for 90 days. So there's no direct connection to the proper behavior and the reward. So that is one of the biggest challenges real estate agents face. So this program is designed to help you have small and fun rewards for the correct behavior so that we can kind of help you build a habit. This program is going to last 3 months, and I believe it takes at least 3 months to really build a good habit, but it'll also get you into momentum. So where we'll start toward the end of January is when the activities will start. That'll take you to the end of February, March, and April. So right into the end of April, toward the height of season. And I promise you, if you join this program and you do the activities and have fun, I promise you, 2018 will be a great year for you. I promise you. So, any questions? If you want to speak, just go ahead and click the little. I don't know if I can unmute everybody. Let's see. Yeah, I can unmute everybody. So I went ahead and unmuted everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask.
Hey, Rob, how are we going to choose our team?
I'm going to try and make teams based on what I consider compatibilities. We haven't really thought about that. We have some kind of rough ideas in my head where, people that are working similar lead generation activities, maybe match them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually send out a form for you to complete so that we can, maybe match you up. I'm not sure. Because, my experience with this program that I've learned, the accountability portion of the program is something I learned in a prospecting program where I was on a team that everybody called for 2 hours and we all called at the same time of day, where I was on some guys were calling 9 to 11, but because they were in Central Time, I was calling 8 to 10. They matched us up in a team that way. So I'm going to look at the results of the kind of the reports or the applications, whatever you want to call it, and then see if what makes sense, and we'll do it that way. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Anybody else? So maybe texting partner. No, voice to voice. I think voice text. There was a comment. Maybe texting partner, and you might be more effective than phone calls. I think there's no tonality and there's no real encouragement. I think in text. I think voice to voice is critical. I really do. This is about engaging each other, and I think text, in my personal opinion, texting is not very engaging. I think part of what we lose is because we are a virtual company and we kind of have that Lone Ranger thing, we kind of live in our own world. I think some good voice-to-voice human interaction is critical to make this program work.
Yeah, that's totally true. I like that.
Yeah. So, and then the comment is, "What if you're busy at the end of the day?" We'll maybe, and I think the problem with that is then everybody becomes busy and uses text and stops. Because if you didn't do your task, it's better to have your partner, it's better to tell your partner, you know what, I was short one of my activities, and then have your partner encourage you. And I think that's the value right there, is to have your other partner lift you up and encourage you. And I just think text loses that. So, any other thoughts, questions?
Yeah. Hey, Rob, it's Mary. I'm just curious about signing up for the classes that you mentioned, the 12th, the 18th, 19th, and 29th. Are you sending us a link, or how?
Those will all be sent out. Because the CE class and the workshop will be open to the public. And when I mean public, I mean the real estate community, not consumers. So for me, the public is, the Wasatch Front agent population. So they'll be invited to those classes. But the actual program, the Productive Agent program, is an Aubrey Associates Realty program, so that's not a public program. So this is kind of like a freemium, yeah. So go backwards. Let's see. So January 12th, CE class, and we'll send out an email. You don't have to worry about all the nitty gritty of this. We'll send out an email. I'll probably devote some web space to this, where you can just go back to a web page and everything will be on that webpage where it'll link to the class sign up, a link to this, where you don't have to worry about it. You know me. You know there's going to be a form involved and a spreadsheet. If you don't know that by now, where have you been, right? I live and die on forms and spreadsheets, right? So anyway, so it'll be, you know, you don't have to worry. You will get reminder emails. You will get reminder text messages. That is one of something I've learned years ago why I have good attendance at classes. I don't leave it up to realtors remembering. I kind of herd them in there. I have a reasonable skill of herding cats. So.
Hey, Rob, you
Yes,
mentioned
ma'am.
you were going to bring somebody in to teach the workshop.
Yes.
Is that correct? Will that be, do we need to be there live at the class, or?
Yeah, the workshops will be live. Yeah, those are, recording workshops and things like that is a lot easier than said. I mean, it's not as simple as me sitting in front of my computer clicking a PowerPoint, and than it is to have an interactive class. Because the workshop's going to be more about sitting down and actually working rather than more of a lecture type and just a straight information thing.
Okay, sounds good.
Any other thoughts or questions or concerns or hallucinations?
Lots of hallucinations.
Yeah, I hear you on that one, huh? So I'm with you. So, well, if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. And Gabriella, I love your because it shows up as initials, and Gabriella, yours is Go. I thought that was cool, right? So we got BS. You got Bryce and Becky. I mean, you guys are BS, right? So that's kind of cool, But Gabriella, you're Go. That is so awesome, right? I just so positive and forward, right? So anyway, so Gabriella, and by the way, welcome. We have a couple people that have just joined Aubrey & Associates within. One of them actually is completing their licenses here, but they're actually completing internal paperwork. Gabriella is just about a week in and has attended already a CE class, got to be entertained by me for a couple hours. So let's go. So I'm going to go ahead, and if there aren't any other questions, go ahead and end the call. And then, of course, if you have any other questions for me afterwards, feel free to reach out. You know the number, right? 801-999-8209, 999-8209, right? Have an awesome day, and I will, hope to see you at the Christmas party. If you have registered and you're not going to make it, please let us know so that we don't pay for your meal. Okay? Have an awesome day.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Bye.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.